Hey folks, Frank Zorrilla here, November 10th, 7 o'clock at night. I just did a video that you can click on the link. It's right on the description. We went through the top momentum names and we also spoke a little about the indices. What we're going to do now is we're going to look at some of the more liquid names. And the reason why the top momentum names, they tend to be low caps, small caps, not much volume. And for some people, that's just not, maybe their account is too big. Maybe they don't like dealing in small caps. They like higher volume stocks. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the high cap Russell 1000 names. We're going to, look for stocks that were up for some reason or another big on huge 2 times 2.5 their average daily volume. Okay, to see if we can find some setups. What we're going to do is that we're going to find stocks that they were up big and then are now going through some form of consolidation. For example, Tiffany, this was pretty much a buyout, so there's nothing here. ALGN, here's a stock that unless you already own the stock for whatever reason, right over here, if you were lucky, you would have caught this move here, which my assumption, more than likely, it was earnings, okay? But now, as you can see, the stock went up from here, 217, closed at 250 for the most part on 4 million shares. The average volume here was 1 million. And now the stock has been going sideways for the most part. Anchor VWAP, respecting that. Print an inside day. This one we flagged already because this one has a lot of momentum. It was already flagged in the first video, but here, for me, inside day, buy stop is 10 cents above Friday's highs, which is 261.28. So buy stop 261.38. Initial stop this low right over here, 255.65. So ALGN, Tesla, this was a beauty. Flagged this one last Sunday on the video. Up big, 29 million shares here on the back of earnings, 29 million shares here. I'm not a chaser. I don't suggest that you chase stocks. You could have played this, if you were a day trader. What I did was I waited for the stock to pull back, and it did. 1031 long, down what was it here? 1031 down 3 days in a row, up through the high. I bought the stock over here, and over here. Sold it all right over here. This was a good setup. This is exactly what we're looking for. We're looking for a stock that went up big on the back of some major announcement on heavy volume. And what we want to do is we want to wait for this consolidation. As you can see here, these are big, the big candle, big gap, big candle, big candle. And look how the candles, they start to contract. And that's what we want. We want contraction. For contraction comes expansion. Look at the volume. Once you start seeing the volume dry up like this, that just tells you the stock is ready to move higher. It's second leg higher. Ask Jen, nothing there for me. Let's see, what else can we find? Another name just like Tesla. We flagged this one last week as well. Up big on the back of some announcement. FDA with the dementia drug stock trades 20 million shares. The average 20-day volume here was 1.6 million shares. Trades 21 million shares. That is huge, okay? Big day, gives it all back, but right over here, it goes up again, but then it starts to consolidate, okay? This is one of my favorite patterns here in the short term because I believe in the short term what works best is momentum and mean reversion. Lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. Right over here, I got long on Friday through this high. The high here was 290.56 long, 290.82, down 4 days in a row, up today through the high. When you're playing these mean reversion plays, and by the way, the volume was really low as well. When you're playing these mean reversion plays of stocks that are down multiple days in a row, you need to wait for that green candle. And the reason why, 4 days can turn into 5 days. 5 days can turn into 6. 6 days can turn into 7. Okay, so you want to wait for that reversal, a break of that pattern of lower highs and lower lows. This one was up $6. I own it. My target is up. My target is whatever it is that the stock is going to give me over the next 3 to 5 days. Okay, and my stop is right over here, 285.25. Whatever the stock does tomorrow, if it prints a higher low than this one, then that's going to be my new stop, and I'm going to chase it higher. What else do we have here? Let's see here. Mohawk. Okay. SWKS. This is one that we flagged also in the first video. It's got a lot of momentum. Okay. Big cap, high price, up big. More than likely in the back of earnings, trades 5.5 million shares when the average volume is 1.4. That's about 3 times the average volume, which is great. Don't want to chase this. You want to wait for the sideways action. It's been trading sideways down 4 days in a row. I like to start going through this high right over here, 273.25. Buy stop 273.35. Initial stop 269.10. LRCX. This was also flagged on the first video as one of the top 200 momentum names. It's getting there. Spot. The stock has been going sideways for a very long time. This is the IPO day VWAP, up big here on numbers. Okay, traded 10 million shares when the average 20-day volume was 1.2 million. It's big. Okay, it's new buyers for you. Stock is down 1, 2, 3, 4 days in a row. Check out the volume contraction here. 959,000 shares. 902,000 shares. I like to start going through 149.33. Friday's highs for tomorrow and tomorrow only. That's going to be getting above the IPO day VWAP as well, which I think is a great tool from Brian Shannon. So buy stop 149.43. Initial stop 146.01. Here's another one. Up big, 2 million shares, more than likely earnings. Goes up, now it's trading sideways, prints here an inside day, I believe. Yep, prints an inside day. I like to start going through 115.90, buy stop 116. Initial stop is right over here at 114.73, so ALLE. Look at this one, a little too extended for me. And so this is another one. This was another beauty right over here. Jumps up on earnings. You don't want to chase. Down multiple days in a row. Okay. Here long 142.53 right over here on this day. Down 6 days in a row. Up today through the high earning stock. And here's what happens. You know, we don't know. I could have made up any target. Okay. I could have said, hey, my low here. My stop is 139.30 and I bought the stock on 142. My target is whatever it is, $10. The point is that you want to sell some on the way up, and most stocks, they trade in these little small bursts that might last 3 to 5 days, and depending on market conditions, you might get $10. Right? If we got a great market, you might get 20. We got a bad market, you might get 2. It's, you know, targets are dynamic, and a lot of it has to do with what's going on with the market. I already sold this one, but this is exactly what I'm talking about, where when you have a stock that's down multiple days in a row, which, again, like I said, what I believe in the short term works best is momentum and these type of mean reversions. The point is that you want to wait for that green day, because here, 3 days turns into 4. 4 days turns into 5, and 5 turns into 6. As you can see here, not one of these candles got above the previous day high. Once it did, your initial stop is this low over here. The next day at the close is this low, then this low, then this low, 149.07, and then here you would have been stopped out. Because again, the minute that it breaks the pattern, that's when you want to get off the train. You know, unfortunately, it was a shakeout, if you want to call it that, and it kept going, but whatever. What else do we have here? Fastenal. Let me see, there's something. Here's another stock. Earnings. Wow. Stock traded 28 million shares. That's a lot. That's a lot. All right, so here down 4 days in a row, prints an inside day. I like to start going through 37.14, buy stop 37.24, initial sell stop right over here 36.83. Another one, Garmin, up big. Earnings, more than likely. 2.9 million shares. I got involved right over here, 11.7. Long, 94.38. Down 3 days in a row, up today through the high. Earnings play. It's exactly what we're looking for. Qualcomm. Here's another one. ORLY. O'Reilly Automotive. As you can see here, the average volume, the average 20-day volume is 364,000 shares. Earnings day, the stock goes up 1.6 million. You know, it's like 2.5 the average volume. Goes up, great. It's trading sideways. Here's the anchor VWAP. Respecting that anchor VWAP. I like to start going through this high right over here. 441.57. With an initial stop at 436. That's yeah, that's fine. 441.57. Buy stop 10 cents above. Initial stop this low right over here. Again, tomorrow, so far we got 1, 2, 3, 6 names. We have no idea which stock is going to trigger. By trigger, it means going through the previous day high plus 10 cents. If they all do, we don't want to cherry pick them because number one, we have no idea which one's going to trigger, and we have no idea which one's going to be the best performing stock over the next 3 to 5, 10 days. And again, most of these stocks, the way stocks trade in the short term, they have these bursts. So you can see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, sideways. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sideways to down. Here, 3, lasted 3 days. Here, it lasted roughly 5 days down. So as a swing trader, you're in the moving business. You want to take advantage of this little momentum burst, and you want to get off the train. Okay, and then jump on something that's just getting started. Perhaps here again. Okay, years ago, if you read Investor Business Daily, when stocks were moving a little bit more aggressively, they had a rule that once the stock got to 20%, they took most of it off the table because they did not want to sit through any consolidation. So as a swing trader, you want to keep that money moving, take advantage of the burst, get off, get involved in a fresh one. Let's see if we can find something else. Again, what we're going through, we're going through stocks that over the last, I think it's 25, 30 days, had a big update on heavy volume. And now we are looking for some type of consolidation to see if we can jump on the second move higher. See, here's another one. This one's setting up. I'm going to flag this for later on this week, OLED. And it's best that when you get these gap ups, you want to get involved in a stock that hasn't done much. The more sideways action, the better. Coming off the lows, even better. Okay, because you should have fresh buyers. Here the stock trades 2.3 million shares. Okay, where the average volume was 449,000 shares, more than likely based on earnings, 40 million shares. The stock has been trading sideways. I like this. I'm going to flag it. I will like a few more days. I want this 10-day to catch up, but this is something to consider later on this week. Google. Here's another one down 3 days in a row. Got involved right over here. Okay, this is one of my most reliable patterns in the short term. Facebook. Got a few more names. Let's see if we can find something else, but we have enough names. We have 6 stocks that if 2 trigger with if 2 or 3 trigger, they can easily be 10 to 12% positions based on where the stops are at. That's it. So ALGN, LRCX, which were both flagged on the first video because they're top momentum names and one of the top 200 momentum names. You got Spotify. That's a fresh one, okay? 10 million shares based on earnings. The stock has been trading sideways ever since the IPO. That's a good one. ALLE, fast, and ORLY. So trade them well and be well.